Good evening, this is Rastax. I'm Zafar Jacob. Just about a year to go for the Lok Sabha polls, but the Congress seems to have admitted that they need the help of other parties to take on the BJP. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, campaigning in Nagaland, said that only an alliance can take on the BJP in 2024, and the Congress will lead that alliance. The question, though, is, will other opposition parties, TMC, Aam Aadmi Party, BRS, SP and BSP, other regional parties, will they agree to the Congress leading the opposition? Does the Congress have rights to claim that it will be the fulcrum of the opposition?
In 2024, the alliance government will come in center. Congress will lead.
More than a year to go for the next Lok Sabha elections, but Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge has already admitted that there will be an opposition coalition taking on Prime Minister Modi and the BJP. Kharge also declared that it will be the Congress leading this alliance, a claim that has been made weeks after only a handful of opposition parties turned up at his unity meet in Kashmir at the end of the Bharat Jodo Yatra.
We are talking with other parties because otherwise the democracy and constitution will go.
Just a few days ago, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar said he was waiting for a signal from the Congress to work towards bringing opposition parties together.
एकजुट होकर के अगला चुनाव लड़ना है, ये जिस दिन फैसला कर दीजिएगा और उसी दिन हम सब लोग एकजुट हो जाएंगे, हम मिल करके लड़ेंगे, तब जान लीजिए आप अच्छी तरह से मुक्ति हो जाएगी। अगर मेरा सुझाव को अगर मान लीजिएगा, कहीं 100 के नीचे जाएंगे, जान लीजिए।
But are opposition parties going to play along? Regional satraps like Mamata Banerjee, Arvind Kejriwal and K. Chandrasekhar Rao have increasingly national ambitions.
If you vote for TMC, vote for TMC, and it's a challenge that we will defeat BJP in the 24 election. It is all commitment and credibility.
And Congress is competing with these very same regional satraps in state elections.
The history of the TMC, you know the violence that takes place in Bengal. They came to Goa, spent huge amounts of money in Goa, and the idea was to help the BJP.
Recently, Prime Minister Modi had declared that he alone is giving the entire opposition nightmares.
देश देख रहा है, एक अकेला कितनों को भारी पड़ रहा है। देश के लिए जीता हूं, देश के लिए कुछ करने के लिए निकला हुआ हूं, और इसलिए ये राजनीतिक खेल खेलने वाले लोग, उनके अंदर वो हौसला नहीं है, वो ढूंढ रहे हैं, बचने का रास्ता खोज रहे हैं।
So are the Prime Minister's words ringing true? Will it be Modi versus who in 2024?
All right, so does the Congress have a claim to be the fulcrum of the opposition? The numbers don't necessarily support this particular ambition because the strike rate of the Congress party in the 2019 Lok Sabha election was just 9%. The Congress won just 54 out of the 500 plus seats that it contested. The Congress's vote share in 2019 was under 19%, which means less than 1 out of 5 voted for the Congress party. In seats where they were in a direct contest with the BJP, and there were over 180 of them, the Congress won just 8%. Just about 15 or 16 seats is what the Congress won in direct contest with the BJP. There are as many as 93 seats which the Congress has lost for the last 4 elections, which means for the last 20 years, the Congress has not won these 93 seats. And there is not one Congress Rajya Sabha MP in as many as 17 states. They registered also their worst performance in the recently held Gujarat Assembly elections, where they were brought down to less than 30 seats. Now, when it comes to opposition and opposition unity, the problem is that everyone wants to be the prime ministerial face. In the Congress alone, while Mallikarjun Kharge might be the party president, Rahul Gandhi remains the most likely person to be projected as the PM contender. After the Aam Aadmi Party got a majority in 2 assemblies, Delhi and in Punjab, convener Arvind Kejriwal is now nursing national ambitions. Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao is also hard at work at building a third front. He has even changed the name of his party from Telangana Rashtra Samiti to Bharat Rashtra Samiti. TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee's national ambitions got a jolt after the party's poor show in the Goa Assembly elections last year, but she still is a force to reckon with, particularly in eastern India. And then there is Nitish Kumar, who is a popular OBC leader who's been eyeing a national role for a number of years now, but he's not trusted by many in the opposition. Ultimately, even if they decided to overcome their individual ambitions and join hands to beat the BJP, the opposition will still not have the numbers. Because let's take a look at the breakup of the current Lok Sabha. The BJP and its current lot of allies have 331 seats. The UPA has only 109, which basically means the BJP has twice more the number of seats for every seat that the UPA has. Parties opposed to the BJP but with personal ambitions, they have another 60-odd seats. And the parties that have a history of having sided with the BJP have about 37. So if you were to put all of that together, the 100 plus that the UPA has, the 61, which is other parties like SPB, SPBRS, etc., and then the 37, which are parties that have sided with the NDA prior to this 2019 election, then it adds up to just about 207 as the Lok Sabha stands today. So 207 on the one side, 331 on the other. Exactly how are these parties in a position to unseat the BJP? Let me now go across to our guests who are joining us. Syed Zafar is BJP spokesperson. Amitabh Dubey, Congress Party spokesperson. Dr. Shashi Panja is cabinet minister in the state of West Bengal. Dr. Nalin Mehta is the author of the book The New BJP, and Rasheed Kidwai, author and senior journalist. Let me start with Amitabh Dubey. Amitabh Dubey, has Mr. Kharge's statement, whether unintentionally or otherwise, let the cat out of the bag that in 2024 the Congress on its own cannot match the BJP, cannot take on the BJP, which is why even over a year to go for that election, and your party president has already seemingly conceded that only an alliance can take on the BJP, the Congress on its own cannot?
Well, let me remind you that the current government, even though the BJP has a majority on its own, is also an alliance government. It is a coalition government. So for the last several decades, coalitions have been the norm in India. Only two parties in the last 3 decades have reached triple digits. That is the Indian National Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party. So I think it's quite logical, as the Congress president said, that an opposition alliance will have to be centered around the Congress party. You talk about different political parties, the various regional parties you mentioned having a mind of their own, and of course they're entitled to having a mind of their own. But no coalition is frictionless. Even the current coalition government, the BJP-led government, has its own frictions amongst different political parties. The Shiv Sena, the TDP, the JDU, the Akalis have at different points of time abandoned the NDA over various differences of opinion. So I think to assume that a grand opposition alliance would be completely frictionless, I think is not consistent with history. What matters is whether these parties are together for the election in 2024. And I think it's very clear, given the history of this country in recent decades, that only a national party has the stability and the strength to carry
while that may be the case, there is this statistic which I never tire pointing out, because I think that is the story of the elections, particularly in 14 and in 19. And I want to ask Syed Zafar Islam this. There were 180 direct contests between the Congress and the BJP in states where these are the two principal players, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, etc. Out of those 180 seats, the BJP won 164. The Congress won just 16, which means the BJP had 10 times more wins where there were direct contests between the Congress and the BJP as opposed to the number of seats that the Congress won. If that ratio is going to be what it is in 2024, then there is no question of the opposition, even coming within striking distance of power, because the battle is already lost in this direct fight between the BJP and the Congress.
Zaka, first of all, Congress needs to understand, while the rest of the country understands, but Congress needs to understand that opposition is a divided horse. Secondly, who they are counting as their alliance partner. You heard after Kharge's statement, You heard what did Mamata Banerjee said? You heard how did BRS reacted to this? Nitish Kumar reacted to this. Many other opposition leaders have reacted to this. Can AAP join hands with Congress? Can BRS join hands with Congress? Can many other parties join with Congress? No. There is absolutely no chance. They will drag on Congress at the first given opportunity because they are directly fighting in their respective states and they have defeated Congress to be in power. So how Congress is even considering these political parties as their partners to fight their battle against BJP? It is certain. You said 16 against 160 of BJP. This time it will be 0 for Congress. They will be completely disseminated this time, purely because people have understood that neither Congress has strength, and as rightly Mamata Banerjee has pointed out, first you keep the house in order. People are leaving your party and you are saying that I have to bring all the alliance partners together under one umbrella, and that umbrella is being provided by Congress party. It is not going to happen.
Okay, so let me ask Dr. Shashi Panja. You know, the problem, Dr. Panja, is that
2024, just last second, last sentence, 2024, it will be BJP alone 350. Somebody from Congress was talking about that BJP has, we have 60 seats and we are a national level party. But BJP and we also can have alliance with other political parties and form the government. But you also understand, BJP alone has more than majority.
Okay.
303.
Okay.
Forget
so let me ask Dr. Shashi
parties.
Panja. You know, the problem, Dr. Panja, is that the TMC, Aam Aadmi Party, other smaller regional parties have national ambitions. Nothing wrong with that. But ambition versus reality on the ground, you may be the number one party, the numero uno party in Bengal, but your relevance beyond Bengal is maybe 2 or 3 states, a handful of states at best. Congress party also. Congress is in power only in 2 states, not much more than where you are in power, but its relevance is there in at least half of the number of states across the country. Therefore, any opposition alliance to take on the BJP would necessarily have to need the Congress round about the figure where it was when UPA 1 came to power, which if I'm not mistaken, was around the 130 mark. So let's say 100 plus for the Congress is the only way the opposition can give the Modi government and the NDA a challenge, because the other regional parties put together just simply don't have the numbers. Like I outlined, in the current Lok Sabha, there are only 60 seats between you, BRS, BJD, YSRCP, all the other smaller regional parties. That 60 could at best expand to 75. That doesn't stand a chance.
Good evening, Zaka. Well, I'll tell you what, I hope you remember once Mamata Banerjee has said when she was trying to form the platform that I want to be the squirrel in the garden. And, it was always said that Congress and also the other parties, which all of us have been naming, should all be in this platform, and that she would play the role to unite. She never said that she wanted to be the prime ministerial candidate. Now, the point is, yes, of course, we are one state where we defeated the BJP, which was led by Amit Shah and Narendra Modi here in Bengal. You cannot discredit us that we did defeat them. It was a ladai in 2021, which everybody knows. Now, in Meghalaya, we are fighting the elections. In Tripura, we are. Now, what we are unhappy about is that Congress should also, we are not going to the Congress-led states, are we, to fight? Be it Rajasthan, be it Chhattisgarh.
No. You heard, Dr. Panja, you heard what Rahul Gandhi said today in Nagaland.
Yes, exactly.
He said that TMC, what is the relevance of a Bengal-based party to go to Goa and contest elections? He said, and these are his words, he said, the only reason you went to Goa is to cut the anti-incumbency vote, is to cut the opposition vote. That's what Rahul Gandhi said.
Absolutely. That is why our party general secretary said, look how irrelevant he is, and so unfortunate to say he's so incompetent. Now, look what happened in Goa. In just 5-6 months, TMC got 10% of the votes. Now, at that time, It was good. I mean, we could have worked out an alliance with Congress. But P. Chidambaram ji went and said with extreme confidence that Congress will go it alone. What happened? 11 candidates from Congress won. 8 of them have already left and gone to BJP. So who is actually helping the BJP?
Okay.
It's very unfortunate. And look at the ideologies. There's so much ambiguity. You are fighting the left in Kerala. But in Tripura and Bengal, you are fighting with the left. So unfortunately, I mean, we need to ask questions. They have so many questions that even they have to answer.
Okay, so let me put that to Rasheed Kidwai. He knows a thing or two about the Congress more than any of us on this panel. So Rasheed Kidwai, I mean, this is a fundamental question the Congress party needs to answer. You cannot, go to Kerala, Rahul Gandhi is an MP from Wayanad, let's not forget, called Pinarayi Vijayan names, and then tie up with the CPM in Bengal and tie up with the CPM in Tripura. In Tripura, the Congress is the junior partner to the CPIM. I mean, it can't be that, one set of rules apply in one state and another set of rules apply in another state. I mean, how are you going to explain these contradictions? Even let's take the case of Uttar Pradesh, right? 5 years ago, the Congress had an alliance, went into polls in an alliance with the Samajwadi Party. Right? Today, is it in a position to go into an alliance of either with the Samajwadi Party or the BSP in the 2024 polls? No, I don't think so.
So, Zaka, if you look at the history of coalition politics in India, it's always been contradictions. In 1977, the socialists came with the Bharati Jansangh Bharati Jansangh. In 1989, it was the BJP and the left supporting VP Singh government. In Maharashtra recently, we had an MVA that with the Congress and Shiv Sena and NCP had come together. This is one thing. But I think in this context, in 2024, Rahul Gandhi is the biggest hurdle. The Congress, after Bharat Jodo Yatra, wants to prop up Rahul Gandhi. If Rahul Gandhi's name comes up as a prime ministerial candidate, there is no way.
Oh dear. Okay. I think we've lost Rashid's line. Let's try and see and wait for a second to see if we can get that back. I think he was making a pertinent point, but okay, Nalin, you want to continue that? Do you believe, like Rashid was just outlining, that he believes that Rahul Gandhi is the biggest hurdle to opposition unity in 2024. My question is, who is the other rallying figure in the opposition? I mean, I look at, the opposition field. Yes, some of them are individually popular in their states. Mamata Banerjee, Arvind Kejriwal, maybe a Chandrasekhar Rao. But is there an opposition leader who has pan-India name recall? Certainly after Bharat Jodo, it only seems to be Rahul Gandhi.
So at the moment, Zaka, there is a big question mark on this. In the past, we've had, for a long time, there was a lot of hawa behind Mamata Banerjee. Then people spoke a great deal about Nitish Kumar. Both of these are now, it's clear that Nitish is well past his prime. He's more focused on Bihar. Mamata is now focused on West Bengal. The Congress, at the end of the day, let's look at the other side of the picture. At the end of the day, the Congress had 19% vote share in the last election. The BJP had 37%. Nationally, the Congress is the only force that can be the fulcrum of a national alliance against the BJP. The problem with that is that, firstly, the Congress is not strong enough in head-to-head contests, as you pointed out, not only in 2019 but also in 2014. But secondly, the Congress, at the moment, many of the allies are very wary of, many of the prospective allies, let's put it that way, are very wary of the Congress. You just have to see, even in the Bharat Jodo Yatra, which did a fair bit for Rahul Gandhi's personal image. But if you see across the states, many of the prospective allies, they stayed away from it, including in UP. If you're not going to have Samajwadi Party, BSP coming together, if you're not going to have key opposition leaders coming together with you, there's a problem, because essentially any increase in the Congress is going to be at the detriment of the allies. And the Congress in many states, in states where it is not directly in competition with the BJP, doesn't have that many cards to offer. So a lot of the regional satraps are saying, look, what is it in for us? We might as well safeguard our home territories. Might as well try and see, you get more seats for ourselves, and then we can use it as a bargaining chip. Why should we give up more seats to the Congress? I mean,
so do you think that strategy, Tamil Nadu will work, in the sense that I think Rashid also had this theory in the last debate, where he said, it's not about whether you can find 543 Congress candidates. Can you find 543 strong opposition candidates who can take on the BJP constituency to constituency? So in Bengal it could be TMC, in Andhra Pradesh it could be YSRCP, in Telangana, it could be BRS. In Tamil Nadu, it could be DMK, so on and so forth. In the left in Kerala and so on. Can you find the 543 best opposition candidates to take on BJP candidates in 2024? Do you think such an idea will even trickle down, will even work on the ground?
So, look, I think this is an idea that theoretically has a lot of sway. Theoretically, it sounds plausible, but I think in practice, it's almost impossible to implement because the local factors vary a great deal. In state after state after state where there are regional satraps, they are looking at safeguarding their own turf. I'm not sure why many of them will compromise with others to say because look, politics is now increasingly, apart from the BJP and the communist, politics is now increasingly non-ideological, if you like. So I'm not sure many of the opposition parties, which are prospective allies in a non-BJP alliance, many of them are actually looking at fighting an ideological battle in the way that many in the opposition and the Congress want them to fight.
So Rashid, you were making that point that you believe that Rahul Gandhi is the biggest impediment to any kind of opposition coming together, opposition alliance to take on the BJP. But my question is, I mean, you look around, especially after the Bharat Jodo Yatra, who is the one leader who has name and face recall across the country from Kanyakumari to Kashmir? I don't think it's a Mamata Banerjee or a Arvind Kejriwal. They may have their pockets of support, but it's only Rahul Gandhi.
Zaka, this is a simplistic way of looking at it. If you look at all coalitions, they always sprang a surprise, whether it was Morarji Desai, VP Singh, Deve Gowda, Chandrasekhar, I.K. Gujral, and even Dr. Manmohan Singh. So I think, the history is on the side of someone who is a non-contender. The problem is that unless the Congress wins over 100 seats or Lok Sabha seats of its own, which we find it very difficult, you have also pointed this out, I don't think the opposition is in a mood to play second fiddle to Rahul Gandhi, whether it's Mamata Banerjee, whether it's Akhilesh Yadav, whether it's any actually regional satrap. So this is a very piquant kind of situation. But it is not that the BJP can win very easily. Zaka, there are 4 states, Bengal, Maharashtra, Bihar, and Karnataka, where the BJP had got a lot of seats. This time around, the political situation is very different. So if there is a short fall of 50-60 seats, I think the BJP will be in trouble because Mr. Zafar can go on saying the BJP will win at 350 seats. In normal election, I don't see BJP crossing 220 seats.
I heard this prior to 2019 also. BJP is maxed out in Uttar Pradesh. You got 70 out of 80. It's maxed out in Rajasthan. It's got 25 out of 25. It's maxed out in Madhya Pradesh. Got 28 out of 28. Gujarat, 26 out of 26. So where will it, it is only bound to fall. You know what? In 2019, it did not fall. But be that as it may, I'll go to Zafar on that note in just one second. But I want to get Mr. Amitabh Dubey back because I think the common thread in what everybody is saying is this. One, the Congress doesn't have any natural claims or rights to be the fulcrum of the opposition. Everyone in their own right wants to be, for better or for worse. They feel that they have as much rights to be the opposition fulcrum as the Congress party. And number two, please respond to what Mr. Kidwai and also Dr. Nalin Mehta said, that Rahul Gandhi, they believe, is singularly the biggest impediment or the obstacle to opposition unity. If he does not want to be the face to take on Mr. Modi, let him come out and say that absolutely plainly and simply, that I'm not interested to be the Prime Minister of this country. I'm not in an electoral race to defeat Mr. Modi, at least not one-on-one. I'm not the face of the opposition. Anyone else is free to come and take up that place.
I'm obviously going to disagree with both the contentions that you put forth right now. If you look at, firstly, when you look at the 2014 election and 2019 election and somehow assume that the next election is going to be based on that, every election is very different. 2009 was different from 2014. 1999 was different from 2004. There is no law that says that the Congress is not going to get over 100 seats. And history shows that the Congress has that ability to do that. The Bharat Jodo Yatra, no party has, and I include the BJP in this, has the ability to do what Mr. Rahul Gandhi just did and the Congress party just did, marching from Kanyakumari to Kashmir on foot, interacting with lakhs and crores of people and engaging with them, discussing them, debating them with them. Now, pundits will be cynical about it because none of you and none of us have seen something like this before. That doesn't mean that it's not going to have a political impact. The election of 24 is going to determine by one, the fact that the Congress party has become a mass movement and intends to continue in this direction, and issues that have come to the fore, whether it's the role of the Prime Minister in protecting Mr. Gautam Adani and all of his the alleged nefarious activities, handing him monopolies in ports and airports, using the ED and CBI and the LIC and SPI to enrich one crony of his, whether it's the China factor, the fact that the foreign minister just the other day said that we can't take on China because it's the biggest economy. Now, what kind of logic is that? You can't take on someone who's occupying your land just because the economy is bigger than yours. So all of these issues are new issues.
Okay.
We are going to take them forward with aggression, and this will have a direct impact on the 24 election, which will be very different from the 1914 elections.
I agree with you in principle. No two elections are the same. The reason why we use the previous election as a base is because if the Congress party has to go from 54 seats to, let's say, even 100 plus seats, it needs to go from under 20% vote share to over 30% vote share. That is a 10% swing in favor of the Congress party. And that only happens if you can visibly detect that kind of anger on the ground. As of today, I don't see that anger on the ground, which indicates a 10% swing away from the BJP and in favor of the Congress party. But be that as it may, that's apology, that's arithmetic. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out in the 2024 campaign. But I want to ask Zafar Islam this. Again, coming back to arithmetic, Rasheed Kidwai's point is well taken. Karnataka, Maharashtra, Bihar, these are states where the BJP maxed out in the last election. You will not get, Rasheed's contention is, you got 25 out of 28 in Karnataka last time, you will not get that. In Bihar, you got 38 out of 40, you will not get that. So his contention is where there are states where you maxed out last time, you will not be able to repeat those numbers. Where are you going to make up for that shortfall? Zafar.
Well, Zaka, Mr. Rasheed Kidwai can have his own opinion, and I respect that. Every individual can have entitled to have their own opinion. But let me tell you that we will have repeat performance in those states which he had highlighted, with be it Bihar or Maharashtra, or for that matter Karnataka or any other state where we had 10% votes or slightly less than 10% seats. But away from that, we will this time in West Bengal, we will increase our tally from 18. I'm sure that it will be very, very good number in West Bengal. We will demonstrate a very good performance in southern state, be it the Telangana or for that matter even Tamil Nadu. You will be surprised when you will see the outcome. We have put a lot of effort, and we'll demonstrate a very good performance in those states, in southern states as well. Away from that, if you see in many other states where we have lost a few seats, this time, even in Uttar Pradesh, it will be like 75 plus, all-time high seats in Uttar Pradesh, unlike 64 we had won last time.
Okay.
All put together, if we just analyze and put it in one basket, the number of seats which we are likely to win, it crosses 345. So we are expecting that we will improve our tally of 303 in 2024.
Okay.
Because
let's see how that plays out. Ultimately, the people of India have to decide that. Let me give Dr. Panja the final word. I really have to wrap up after this. Dr. Shashi Panja, I keep coming back to this question. You know, Bharat Jodo happened and none of the opposition parties, at least not the major ones, your party, Aam Aadmi Party, even Nitish Kumar and the RJD, who are allies of the Congress, who are part of the UPA, even they did not turn up for the finale of Bharat Jodo. And yet the reality seems to be this, that it is only the Congress party who can take on the BJP, whether it is in Karnataka, whether it's in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. There is no presence of any other party to take on the BJP in any of these states.
No, let us put it very categorically. Let the regional parties, where the regional parties dominate, let them continue to dominate in their own regions. Congress should not step in there. That's one. Second, just look at the performance of the Congress in the last 45 elections. They've lost out in 40. So that is something that they need to accept. I'm not going all out for them, but you mentioned that Bharat Jodo was a very good yatra. But just look at the rally today of Rahul Gandhi in Meghalaya. Even that speaks volumes. There were hardly any people there. So you need to accept all that, because BJP is basically living on a negative vote. It has nothing to, gloat about achievements. It's visibly worried. It is visibly worried. And that is why it has started to make its calculations.
No.
So, there's no big brother here. Everybody needs to be on the...
I'm completely out of time. I need
equal.
to thank all our guests. But not for a moment am I suggesting that the BJP does not have problems or the country is not facing any problems. But ultimately, when you go back to the people, and the people are going to ask a very, very simple question. If not Modi, then who? And the answer to that question, the opposition needs to find before the campaign kicks off for 2024 Lok Sabha. Because if they don't, like in 2019 or even in 2014 for that matter, then I'm afraid that is a fundamental, almost an existential question as far as the election of 24 is concerned. And right now, the opposition does not have an answer. If not Modi, who?